Hey y'all, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hey Jack,
What's going on with you?
Sweet Lady Bond, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, so let me get the others in. I gotta find out where they look, cause I don't know where that. There she go.
Well, Poppy on his way, so I'll be here for a minute. What's our
Yeah.
topic today?
I'm waiting for Jana to come in. And what's the other one? Aloha Mama. Where's she at? It ain't letting me look up who I want to look up. Okay, there's Jana. Hey Boo,
Hey there.
how are you?
I
I've
hope
been
y'all
miss.
can't hear my music.
No, and my microphone just died, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm getting
Okay,
ready.
good.
I gotta.
Good evening, ladies. How are you?
I'm
Oh,
good,
I'm
beautiful.
doing well. We waiting on one other.
Okay. I I'm coming from work, so
It's all good. We
yeah.
not tripping. We not tripping. We not tripping. Hey, greet the people. Let me get our other baby girl on her. I don't know where she is. What is she? Aloha Mama? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I think that is aloha.
Let's
Could somebody find her? Cause I'm trying to invite her, but I can't seem to get a search bar.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, I'm doing that thing that TikTok don't like, so I can't do it right now.
Oh. Jack, can you
Yeah.
invite Aloha Mama? Where she at? I'm trying to figure out where
I'm
she
looking
at.
for her now.
Huh?
I'm looking for her now.
All right. I'm looking for her too. But I was like, she was right on the top. I'm trying to figure out where she at. Unless, of course, I'm saying the wrong name, then it's something totally different.
It is aloha. If it's the same girl that was with us the last time, it's
Yes, it is
aloha.
Aloha. Okay. I'm looking for our friends in order, because girl, if they are, she down at the bottom. Dang
I
it.
don't see her.
Where's she at? Where's she at? Did she pull up? Is she in the room? Hi, LaBelle. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh, thank you for the rose, honey. That she just joined the room. Give us just a couple of moments. We're looking for our other young lady who is supposed to be a part of us, and I don't know where she is. And I'm trying to figure out how to add her because I got one, two. Where is she? Y'all, give me a minute. In the meantime, how's
Mhm.
everybody's Sunday going?
Wonderful. I just got off work,
My
and
Sunday
so
is good.
it's going good. Yeah, it's
How
going
was
great.
work?
It was good. It was. I got a lot of other things I needed to get done because I was one on one with the patient today. So I got some things I needed to do on the computer. I finally got my play started. I got the characters started. So I was happy for that. I got a lot accomplished today, I would say.
That's good. That's good.
Yep, and I got my schedule all written out for the week. So I am always excited when I get the opportunity to do that because the week flows a lot better when I have it all written down.
Oh, it makes the difference. Because I'm trying to share, and if I could find her during sharing, it would be great.
I ain't come
Mm-hmm.
across her yet, so I don't know.
I don't. Well, usually I can tell when she's on because the green dot is up and moving,
Mhm.
and I don't see the green dot yet. So, and I'm still looking for her. So, oh,
Okay.
let me try this. There she is.
You
We're
found
gonna
her.
send her an invite, so she should be in here shortly. But in the meantime, I am so grateful that you guys came in today. I'm gonna put you up over here so I can sit my little hips down. It's a
How was church?
beautiful
Did you go to
day.
church today?
Girl, yeah, but that's a whole nother
Okay.
show, Chad. That's a whole nother show. Not a bad thing though. Just today was a day where it wasn't, I wasn't at my own church, but I was obedient to where he led me to go. Cause sometimes I don't want to be going other places. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I want to go to my own church house and that's it.
Okay.
Today was a day of an assignment. And so make sure you guys share the live. So since today was a day of assignment, I made sure that I followed through with the assignment, because if I didn't, I would have felt bad. And my assignment was to go somewhere else where I don't ordinarily go, and go deliver what he told me to do and do a drive-by, because that's the kind of prophet I am. I'm going to do a drive-by and keep going.
Amen.
That's who I am. So it's funny, the male pastor was like, he said, you just do a drive-by. I said, yep, that's me. When I walked in the door, his wife said, I know you here for an assignment. I know you got something. I know you. I said, yeah, I do. I said, but I didn't want to say it in the church. And they had took me outside. And so it worked out very, very well. I'm really grateful. But let's get started. We sent her an invite. Hopefully she'll come in the room sometime. She might be dealing with something with the baby. You know how that is when you have children under 2 years old. You know, the little ones, they take up a lot of our time. We all know, we all had them. But we're going to get started. Miss Sweet Lady Bond, can you do some sharing, please? Thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate it. Goal is to get 2 today. My goal is to be in the bronze before June as far as a person on TikTok, so I'm working on it.
Amen. Okay.
So Father, we thank you, because I'm close. So Father, we thank you for this day, because this is all about you. We wouldn't have breath in our body, activity of our limbs without you. But with our discussions, we want to make sure that you are in the beginning, middle, and end. So we invite you in today, and everything that's going on, everything, every area of our life, mentally, physically, financially, socially, emotionally, spiritually, all of those areas. We thank you, Father, for the growth. And we know growth is uncomfortable, but we thank you, Father, it's already done. In Jesus' matchless name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So, of course, we're talking about what today?
I don't know what you're
Relationships.
talking about.
And I want to talk about finances in a relationship.
Okay, let's do it, because money is a big part of a relationship.
And what I specifically want to talk about is the question that I have is, I guess for both of you all, how easy is it for you to respect a man that makes less money than you?
You want the ghetto version or you want the sanctified version?
I'm a hush and see where the spirit leads you.
You funny. So I'm gonna turn my phone up because I can barely hear you, and I don't have my AirPods on. Okay. So one of the things that I have, one of the things about me is I respect people and love people where they at. That's me in general. Just because I make more money than you doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It just means that my bank account looks a little different than yours. And a lot of times people who have more money don't even know what to do with it. And they spend it on frivolous stuff. So do I respect a man who makes less money than me? Yes, I do. But I also respect a man who has goals and is chasing God. Because if you chase God, the money gonna come. For sure. So if you're not chasing God, I'm not with you. I don't care what you got going on. I don't care how much money you have. Have I shared with you guys previously 2 weeks ago that money is great, it can be made, but if you don't have character, Christ, communication, if you don't have that solid foundation, we ain't doing much of nothing. And I don't care how fine you is, and I don't care how it is either. So that's my answer. Sweet Lady
I'm
Bomb, your turn.
yeah, I'm with you on that because just because he make less money than you doesn't mean that the relationship is not going to be where you need it to be or where you want it to be or where y'all going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe that job is just that job for him for temporarily. Like maybe he need that woman to, you know what I'm saying, push him to, get something better. Cause we all know that men, they need us for everything. I'm just gonna put that out there. That's just me. That's just me. But
You gonna
you
start
know,
a fire,
and
Jesus.
sometimes it takes, that woman to push that man, to because if you leave it up to a man and he enjoyed his job for 10 years, he gonna probably want to stay there till he retired because you know, it's just him and, he really love his job. But if he got a wife that he have to take care of and you've been, whispering in his ear, baby, I think you need to, move up a little bit. Maybe that's something that he would do. um Finances to me doesn't really mean that the relation is not going to be a good one. um and I you have to meet people where they are, you know so yeah, that's probably my answer. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Uh-huh.
that woman to push that man to get something different to make a little bit more money, you know so yeah.
So, okay. So here's my problem with this, and it might be the reason why I'm single because, and I have not been in a lot of adult relationships. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
clearly.
Okay. I haven't been in many adult relationships. I've been in, I would say, about five, maybe six, maybe no, five, five. No, yeah. Oh, there you go. It's like five. It's less than five or equal to five. And in those relationships, 90% of the time, the man
That's Tamika.
always
Mm-hmm.
made more money than I did.
Uh-huh.
So in the most recent relationship that I was in, uh, there were times where I made more money than him, but there were times when he made more money than me. And I know they always say that, but I um I respected him more when he made more than me. And I don't know like where that idealism came from. I try not to demasculize him because I had to we were living together at a time and I had to pick up the slack. And in my thought process, it made me feel like it took me from the soft era that he put me in to I put in about a minute and a half more. No, I put it in there for a minute and a half more. Thank you, sir. How is it a minute? I'm lying. Okay. Thank you, honey. But it took me, in my opinion, it took me from my soft era and took me out of it took me out of my soft era and put me in a masculine role. And so I noticed that in those times, and we were only together 2.5 years. In those times when he didn't have, and I had to provide, I feel like I had less respect for him.
You. Mm-hmm.
So I've never been married, so I really can't say, what how that would work or what that's supposed to look like. But in my opinion, uh, I cannot respect you if we're not in a relationship. I can respect you a lot more. You know, I mean, your finances don't have anything to do with me if we're not in a relationship. But if we're in a relationship, I would prefer for him to make more money, and I believe that my respect is tied into that, and I have reasons why. So, but the broad answer to the question for me is I can't really respect a man that's not making more money than me.
Mm. Okay, Camille. This is Dr. Camille, y'all. Dr. Camille
Hello.
Thomas.
Hello.
Hello.
She is a brain and beauty's walking and like beautiful. All in. She's a smorgasbord. Yes, got nothing but love for you. The question was, can you date a man who makes less money than you? Can you respect him because he makes less money than you? And my answer is, I love you where you at. Because the same way, if you don't have money, we can make it together. I can show you, I can help you. Maybe there's something we can do to elevate you. So that way I can lean back on my role, if you would say soft air. And I feel like, I'm gonna let you to answer the question because then I'm gonna come back to Jana. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can I respect a man who makes less money than me? Absolutely. Yes, I don't think respect should be tied to money. For one, you'll miss out on a lot of blessings that way. The second thing is, I have been in a relationship with someone who made more than money than me. And I've been in a relationship with people who made a whole lot more money than me. And either way, there are conditions that you have to be okay with. One is, sometimes if a man makes more than money than you or your partner or whoever, there's a little saying, he who controls the money controls the relationship, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I know a lot of people in relationships with people who make a lot of money or they bring in very little. I think there's two sides to that. One is that, you have to be okay with, sometimes, not all people, but a lot of them, the decision making is not yours when it comes to finances. So you have to relinquish some of your say-so in things, asking somebody for whatever the case may be, depending on how the relationship goes. But on the other hand, I think that there's the people that have relationships with people, and we bring something to the table anyway. And some people are willing, that's what they need. But respect tied to money, to me, is a little bit misplaced. So yes, I can, because people as a whole, a partner, can bring so much more than money. And not everybody needs the money. I need support, encouragement, love. When you fill in those, you guys compliment each other and fill in those voids, gaps that you guys have, that you compliment. That's so much more valuable, and money comes. There's a healthy relationship. You guys can build somebody who is seeing the things that you're not seeing, whether it pertains to business or whatever you're doing. And sometimes it's peace. I've been with people that there was no peace, and at this point in my life, character is more important than money to me. Consistency is more important than money. Consideration is more important than money. Somebody who adds to, the energy of my house, the everything is more important than money. There's so many things that are more important than money. And I understand money helps you get things, but at the end of the day, when things are gone, what do you have? So that's my short answer. I guess it's kind of short, but for me, yes, I've done it, and it was, I would do it again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your answer. Jana, I'm going to go back to you because you started this fire. Which I love. Thank you for everybody that's coming in the room. If you're please coming in here, get your daily heart meet. The people that I am in the room with, they are family to me. And it's important that if you're going to make them your new cousin, your auntie, your TT, your sis, your roadie, make sure you definitely fully engage, because we're all going to make this money on TikTok. We all are. We're all going to get to 10,000. We're all going to go through all of these beautiful fancy dinners on yachts and everything else. I am so grateful for all those that came in the room. Camille, thank you for coming in. I just pushed the button to say hello and then invited you in. So thank you for so much for you just sliding in. If you have to slide out later, sis, I love it. I totally understand. But Jana, the reason, maybe you're right. The reason why the relationships didn't work out so well is because they had more, because somebody had less money than you. And I am looking to be married one day. Hey, Boss Up, thank you so much. Hey, fam. The fam is in the house. That's Wanderpreneurs in the house. Whoop, whoop. Thank y'all. Definitely amazing agency. Get with us. Fill out an application. Go on band, fill out an application. And, all I'm going to tell you is you got to go live. That's important. If you ain't going live, you ain't making no money. And Dion trying to get all the money she can get. You understand? I need all the extra so I can give. But Jana, the reason why I know, I understand where you're coming from. Like, if you don't make enough money, how can you respect him as a man? Yeah, I get it. But what about dating a man that has no money, dating a man who had a little bit? Now, see, them brothers that don't have it, we let them sling, schlong, slurp, and burp, and everything else, and still be with them. Camille, I'm going to keep it a buck. And we still be with them.
Thanks.
And be a straight D-boy, putting us through the drama. We still be with them. No matter whether you're 15 or 50, you are in that relationship. When you're maybe not. When you're in a relationship with somebody, and I'm going to just say for me, I have never been with a boyfriend that has never done anything for me. Never, except for one in my entire life. And he was nothing but some crap. Some crap. But all the others that I dated, thank you for being a number 2 badger. Thank you so much, Camille and Jana. Thank you so much for liking the live and sharing this place. One of the things I had to realize is that he didn't have common courtesy. He didn't have character. He didn't have respect. All he had was the street, because that's all he knew, because that was the person that I picked. But at that same point in time, as an adult woman, we have to look beyond finances, because I'm never going to tell you there's TT in the dating pool. I ain't going to tell you that, because that'd be for me, that's a farce. Because there are so many people like yourself and myself who are good people in the dating pool, and ain't nothing wrong with us. We just haven't connected. We haven't had that divine match yet. When that divine match comes, whether he making $50,000 a year or $12,000 a year, if you're in love with him and he is giving you everything you need, more than the finances, you're going to go to him. Because men who have quite a bit of money, and even though they say broke boys don't get no, broke boys do be getting it, because we still be messing with them. But that's a whole other show. I know for a fact that, let me see how I can say this. When we date somebody for the financial gain, those men who have quite a bit of money have no time for you, have no respect for you, and they feel you can easily be replaced. And sometimes they're a little bit arrogant. We can deal with a little bit of arrogance, but we can't deal with the narcissistic stuff, because then that just puts us on a whole nother level.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, because life happens, right? So what happens when you date somebody or marry somebody because they are more financially stable or earn more than you do, and then life happens and they don't have that anymore? Do you lose respect for the person or the man because he no longer is in the financial state or situation he is? And is that the only thing? Not saying that it's the only thing, because I know that's, but I'm just going to say it. Is that the thing that keeps the relationship? And what do you do when it's no longer there? Or
Okay. So a great question, great clarifying question. I'm not talking about if life happens while we're inside the relationship. I'm talking about when we are gathering data when we're dating. When we're gathering data when we're dating, and let me pull it all the way back. So in 2022, I decided to date after not dating or being in any kind of relationship, relating with a man for 12 years. And the men I dated, they cheated, but they were always the provider. Okay?
Girl.
They were always the provider, but they cheated. But let's be very clear, Jana has always had money. So
Right.
it wasn't that fact that I had to stay with them so they could pay the bills. They just happened. I happened to be. My money is my money is my money. Their money is my money too. So that was that situation. However, 2 of those relationships ended because of infidelity. Okay, so 12 years. I was looking at my life and I was like, my daughters are grown. My son is getting older. It's time for me to get back into the dating pool. When I decided to do that in 21, 22, I was a 6-figure earner. So when I started to date, I did not date with the premise that I was going to find a 6-figure earner, because black women, and it's statistics all over Google, make more money than black men on a whole. It's a whole statistic. I didn't make it up. It is what it is. I don't like that as it is, because what it makes it hard for us to date men within our income bracket.
Right.
So I'm talking about when we're dating and we are gathering data. So when I started dating, I went on 50 dates, and I narrowed them down to 4 people. And out of the 4 people, I picked one of them. And I was like, okay, Jana, look, the guys that you're checking for, I'm not checking for you. And that's just the bottom line. So give this guy a try that made less money than you, and you see where it goes. So I did this, and some of the time it was a nightmare, because I don't like when men talk about money or I can't afford that. It drives me insane, because I've never heard my father say that. I've never heard my grandfather say that. I never heard my uncle, the men in my life that raised me. I've never heard it. They've always had it for their wives. They've always had it. So when men, I'm getting some background noise. Do y'all hear that?
Can somebody mute their mic?
the
Because I think the mama just came up. Hey, mama, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you, doll.
So I didn't want that. And so when we actually stopped dating and became like going into the relationship, when I wanted to get up and go and do something, and I'm sitting up here, got 4 kids, I want to get up and go. He don't got it. And I didn't like that part of it. So when it was like that, you in the bonus, let me get you some of them. You're in the bonus period.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in the room.
Hey,
Prophetess Ann, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know I invited a couple of people. It's only supposed to be 4 us up here. Now it's 5. I don't care. Just
the more the merrier. So when it got, let me just finish this part right here. Let me just finish this part right here, and you can do your thing. Okay. So when it came to that, it didn't compute for me. I get the character, and of course, you want somebody that treats you kind and that is loving and giving. Just because he makes money don't mean he spends money on you. The other things are there, but in my opinion, I would prefer that at least that he has his finances in order, even if he doesn't make the same amount of money as me.
I have a question for you. And I'm being honest, but what came to me is you said that you've dated all of these guys that made money and they all cheated. So are you compromising your dignity and self-respect for $1? I mean, because
my dear, honey, please, The man that I just let go of, that was
No,
making less money than
let
me,
me say this. Let me say this
he
real quick.
was, because
Let me say
I
this real
don't know
quick,
how you
Jenna.
got that. I don't know how you
Let
got
me
to
say,
that.
I'm asking, let me say this real quick,
Well,
okay? This is not a dig at you. Please don't get defensive. I'm just asking a question. I said, when I heard that you said that, I am not judging you by any means. I'm literally asking a question. And so I don't want you to honey baby sugar me and all that kind of stuff. We don't have to do that. We can have a conversation. But I'm literally asking because of what you said. You said every man that made more money than you cheated on you. But that's what you prefer. So the question just is, it's the question that came to mind. Not judging you, not saying anything about you. I don't know you to do that. But to me, it's hard for me to comprehend that I would want somebody because they have more money that continues to cheat rather than have somebody of good character that may earn a little bit less. I heard the last statement you said about having his money in order, but we were talking about the other things. So please, let's come back down and just have a conversation. I don't want to, you know, that's not where I want to go. I heard it
it
all in
sounded like
the
you was going for my character, and which is
I'm
what,
not going,
and
I
I don't
asked a
know
question.
what I said that would, I don't know what I said that you said something about self-respect. It had nothing to do with that. And let's be clear, broke
I
men
asked a
cheat
question.
too. Black men cheat too. And there are men that have money that have integrity and won't cheat. So I don't think it. I think the money makes life better, but I don't think that is the reason why men cheat. I think in and I'm 40. I don't know how old you are, but I'm
47.
40. I'm 47 too. I'll be 48 in July.
Me
And
too. Me
the
too.
men that I dated 12 years ago
Mhm.
and beyond, we were in our 20s. So it wasn't like it wasn't it. They weren't older men doing this. The only and like I said, I took that break and I came back. I just think, and I don't have to be right. I just think it speaks to your character when you don't have money, and that's a man or a woman. If your finances is the person I recently that we parted ways is a whole 13 years older than me, and I don't know. I thought that maturity would come with life planning. I thought I was going to learn more, and I was really teaching more than I was learning. So I don't know if I picked you. So when I do know I picked wrong, but I just feel like going forward, once I move forward from this, I don't know that I will deal with a man that makes less money than me. I will have to definitely get more data.
Okay. I'll reiterate. I wasn't going for your character. I'm asking questions, a line of questioning just to provide clarity. I only can go on based on what you said. That's it. So I was asking a question about that because there's again something there. Just trying to get to that part. And every six-figure earner isn't well off. I know six-figure earners who are very much in debt. The paycheck says one thing, but the debt to income ratio says another. So there was a lot of questions I had based on what you said. So forgive me if you felt like you were being attacked. I'm not attacking you at all. Just asking clarifying questions. That's all. But
Okay.
I'm really just,
Okay. So Jana, you don't know Camille like I do, and she doesn't know you like I know you. I know you both differently. One thing I want you to know, because of Camille's profession, she's extremely analytical, and she is never one of those people who will attack your character. She asks questions for clarity. So I don't want you to ever think that that's what she was doing, because she said it, but I know that's never her motive. Because a lot of times, and I'll say for me, when I was in a position where I didn't make the right decisions, I got offended. And I was ready to put the dums up. But I was like, wait a minute. Am I defended because this person I just met and they're correct? Or am I offended because they're correct and I know I could have done better? You know, there's always a reason why you ask what you ask. So we're just gonna move forward. There's no blood drawn. Thank you, God. There's no peace. There's no.
I think both of y'all took it a little too far. I'm not mad or anything. I was just letting her know, like, I think you got what I said wrong. But I'm not mad. I don't know her, to even be that upset about it. I'm not upset at all, because we're just talking, and
Well, I'm glad.
you can,
I'm
and
glad it
everybody
wasn't
can,
your preference.
and everybody can share their opinion. And one thing about me, I don't mind critique. I don't mind, because I don't mind it at all. You know what I'm saying? I was just making clear to Camille that there's nothing wrong with it. I didn't pick men like that for that reason. I don't just go after, and I don't care how they treat me. I'm not. I want that to be clear. I'm just saying the two of those relationships, they did cheat. They were the post provider, and they cheated. But like I said, the gentleman that I just got out of the relationship with, he cheated as well, and he didn't make money.
Okay, so we understand that. Nobody disagreed with that at all. Just in the whole, how can I say it? I only, just like you express, how you expressed yourself is how we took it. I know I did. And I love you to pieces. That don't change nothing. I just heard the way you expressed it. You didn't get loud, but I can hear the change of tone. So anyone, like, if I change my tone, you're gonna be like, well, what's wrong with you? Because I just recently had a conversation with one of my sisters in Christ about something simple like sour cream. Okay, sour cream in the refrigerator. Sour cream in the refrigerator. In the refrigerator at the church house. And I asked a question, and immediately she was like, "Oh, you need to," and I was like, and the husband, whose daughter brought the sour cream when we had kids day at church, and I'm just saying, he looked at me, I looked at him, and we both was like, "What's wrong?" Because all I did was ask a question, and immediately you went into protective mode for nothing, because all it was a question. That's it. That was it. All I did was ask a question. So I did have to go back to her the following day and say, hey, sis, you and I had a conversation about this, that, and the other, and I'm trying to figure out what happened on Wednesday that made you come at me like that, because all I did was ask a question. Because her tone immediately changed. And she light skinned, and so the face turned red a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I just couldn't understand. But either way, it doesn't matter, because I still love her. We hashed it out. She apologized. I took it and kept on going. It's not a big deal, because none of us are perfect. But in picking dates or men that we're collecting data from, I think personally, and this is me and my opinion, I think personally we have sex with them way too fast. You give them your goodies and then they act like Negroes. Them Negro spirituals get the clowning. They have nothing to wait for. They have nothing to look forward to. And they will give you the money and do all that other stuff. And it's like, I don't need you. Look, I had one guy tell me, because I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, 2-car garage, and it was just me and my children. Thank you so much, Camille. Thank you so much, both of you. I appreciate you. He told me, you want a roommate? Excuse my French. Hell no. My desire is a husband, not a boy who don't have his stuff together. A grown man who got his stuff together. And I don't mean just financially, because the money bags brothers be in my face 24/7, because I talk crazy to them just like they talk crazy right back to me. And they tell me I'm too little with too much heart. No. I am a strong, opinionated Black woman. Now, I'd rather sit back and chill and watch you do what you do and let you play the man cave. I don't have no problem with that. But at the same point in time, there has to be a level of respect for each other. because men date women that don't have half as much money they do all the time. And it's not because they want to be in control, because some of the women that they end up dating on the same level or more financially end up being a beast of a burden. And who wants that? Who wants that? Nobody wants that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants that. So again, to date somebody, and you know I'm loud, I'm excited. To date somebody who makes less than me, they would have to have their character together, because I'm looking at your character before I'm taking this nickel between my legs. And by the time we take the nickel between my legs, it'll be so long, you'd be done forgot about it. Put a ring on my finger and said, babe, we need to get married. It's been 6 months. It's long enough. Call your kids, tell them to get here. We buying everybody plane ticket. We gonna go to the beach where you want to be, and that's where we gonna get married. And the reason why I say that, and I know John is like, I came in the room. Hey, John, how you doing? The reason why I say that is because I have no desire to have sex before marriage. And if that's what you want, I'm fine. Am I going to be by myself? No, I'm not, because my life is fulfilled. God has given me a whole bunch of things to do. And I have you guys. So I'm never alone, because that's when people say, oh, you're alone. No, I'm not. I'm not alone at all. I might get lonely every once in a blue moon. But if I'm that kind of girl, I can pull Bob out. But just the same, it's all on how you characterize yourself. And I found for me, that I had some guy who I didn't even know was a pimp. That's what he said he was. I didn't know he was a pimp. I didn't know. You can't tell, because he just so even keeled. You know, the big green eyes, the long locks, the 6'5", the beautiful thing. I mean, you know, he's a looker. He eye candy. But he told me, I have so much respect for you, but the only thing you won't do for me is sex. He said, we cook together, we hang out together, I'll go to Bible study with you, and he would. He did all those things for me, but I would not sleep with him. Why? Because I saw some things in his character, can only take it but this far, bruh. And I will pray for you anytime you need me. Thank you for sharing, Jenna. I appreciate you so much. I will be there for you anytime you need me. But the minute I checked him and it got loud, and I admit I get loud. I'm not yelling. My voice just activate or gets high. And I told him, I said, I'm not mad, but you find it amusingly funny. I find it amusingly funny when you can say crazy stuff to me, but the minute I check you without a cuss word, you ready to file spit green stuff because you don't know how to handle it. Because I ain't calling you out your name, and I ain't talking about how you look in your apartment, And I can tell you, I've dated a lot of guys that their apartment didn't look nowhere nice as mine. And they go, dang, Dion, your house looks like this? Yeah, but I drive a bucket, and it's paid for. And I got good credit. So that was important to me. So, of course, dating somebody who has less than you doesn't make you any better or any worse. But we have to look at people's characteristics. Because there's some very attractive, handsome, humble, extremely wealthy men who does not mind dating a woman who's already had children, or mind somebody who has been SA'd, because they know that the healing process must have begun a long time ago, because they can sit down and talk to her and figure it out. So we just have to make better choices as women in who we date. That's it. So thank you for everybody coming in the room. Appreciate you. So what if, and I'm gonna throw this out there. What if you date somebody and they got the money? Hey Tiff, how you doing? They got the money. They got a decent place to stay. They got decent credit. They have children before you. But yet and still, he's not mature. Are you going to date him? Jackie, you want to answer? Jana, you want to answer? Camille, anybody?
I don't think I can. I personally, and it just goes back to what I want to do in a relationship now. I have made it to the point where I don't have to struggle. And I don't like with the person that I was dating that had less money than I. He was always talking about bills needing to pay. That is a turn off for me because even if I was on struggle mode, I would not look for a man to pay my bills. And I
Right.
don't think that he was. I just think that what added to the demise of the relationship is that we were both out of order. Because I said several times to him, like, hey, how about we're gonna fall back from the relationship part, and I'm gonna let you work on you, and I'm gonna work on me, and if we choose to get back together, then we would.
Mhm.
I offered those kinds of things because maybe you need time back because there are so many men that will say that know that it is it's in a man's DNA to provide for his significant other. Whether you guys choose to get married or you just live or you guys are just life partners, it is the man's responsibility to do that. So if your lifestyle is is of something that he can't afford, I mean, then what's going to happen? That's what I'm saying. I don't think I could say, look, I'm not dating no. I think that I'm going to collect a lot of data, and the thing about it, I'm not desperate. So I'm not going to just go back out there and date the first person that is available. I'm just going to be very much more selective because I didn't choose well.
That's
But
good.
I can't be bothered with a person that can't get up and go to eat, you know, on a whim. You know what I'm saying? I do that, and I have a son under 18, and I'll get up and go just like that. Like I wouldn't go today because I just got off work. But if a friend's call and be like they wanna go eat, I get up and go. I have a friend date tomorrow. You know, I just get up and go. They asked Saturday night. You know, they asked in a group chat. So that's the type of person I am. So I don't want to feel bad. You know, I don't want to be worried about your bills because if the relationship goes to the next level, which I would like it to be, I don't want to be the only one paying. I mean, I don't want that. I don't like that. That just it's nothing that I grew up around, and so it's unattractive to me, and it cost me as I, in my opinion, it caused me to go from being in my soft era to more of a masculine feel because there was a time in that 2.5 years that we did live together. So
I can, I can, I can kind of understand a little bit better now that it's hard to respect someone that you're not attracted to. And so, whatever that looks like, it's hard to, whether it's the character you're unattracted to, whether it's the financial status that you're unattracted to, at the end of the day, it is hard to respect someone that you're not attracted to. So I can get that. Yeah, but what was the original question again? No, I was thinking. That's why I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, look, squirrel. I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. Jana, repeat the question, please. She must be talking. Jana?
I didn't offer a question. I was just giving more context to why I thought the way I did. I didn't offer another question. The
No, I
question
thought
is
you
still the
had a
original question. The question is still the original question. Can you respect a man that makes less money than you? It's still that question. I haven't answered another question, but I do have another question that could add to that.
Before you go there,
Why?
hold on a second. Before you go there, the question that was asked was if the man has the finances, the house, the this, the that, and he's lacking in a particular area as far as maturity. He spiritually, he might not have it all the way together. He got the car, he got the house, he got the he got this, he got that. But if he doesn't have the maturity level, can you date him? Was my question. That was my question. Can you date him? Go ahead, Camille.
For me, it's harder to mature a person than to teach them about finances. So there, maturity takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of, which all of it does. But if somebody is just not mature, especially in the areas that you need them to be, that's different. Like I can literally, and I taught, finances for a long time. And it doesn't take that much, but to teach them maturity, it's so much that's so layered because it comes from their upbringing, their belief system, their value system, all of this type of stuff that you have to do a lot of unlearning and relearning to get to a place, or a lot of like teaching. At this age, I don't want to deal with immaturity in that way. So if he has all the other things, and I've been there, it's still like Jana says, it's one of the things that I'm unattracted to.
Ah, I can relate.
So I can't. I don't particularly want that.
No, okay. So I respect that answer because each of us have something different. John in the comment said that you can teach. He said such a relationship could actually work with some time if you work with them. It depends on how much time you have.
I just don't have at this point, being 47 years old. At this point, I don't have that type of time to teach a man maturity, to be at the level of maturity that I need him to be. That's something that, however, because he's probably not gonna be that much younger than me if he's younger, but trying to close the gap a little bit. But that it takes years to build that type of maturity. And you can be taught, they can be taught, you can be, brought along, but I just don't have that kind of time.
And I respect that. And I respect that. I respect that. Hold on, Jenna. I respect that because sometimes men don't have a problem teaching women things that they don't know. Sometimes men don't. And then there's some men in the relationship like, you old enough, you should know by now. You a grown A woman. But
there's a difference in maturity, like teaching them about things, say about finances, about business stuff, acumen, different types of, there's a difference. But maturity, that's like a whole, that's a project right there. You know what I mean? That's a project.
Jacqueline Bond, you haven't spoken yet. Do you have a comment about the maturity? Because he can have everything but don't have the maturity. Can you hang out? Can you thrive with him? Can you work with him?
That's kind of a hard question. You can have the maturity. I guess, you get to learn to know a person and you get to know who they are. So I guess, if the relationship is good, I guess you can hang out with them. I don't know. Listen, I ain't been in the dating game in over 10 years. But let me go back a little further than that, because I'm just like, wow. I'm listening and I'm just saying to myself, wow, that's what they dealing with today. Like, because I don't know. I'm so used to taking care of myself. You know what I'm saying? I've never looked for anyone else to help me with anything. And that would be something hard for me. You know what I'm saying? Just to accept from a man that's going to help me. You know what I mean? I hear you. I understand it. I ain't been in that scene and oh my goodness, jeez. I don't know. I guess I'd fumble all over the place because I ain't with what's going on. Listen, I have to be honest because I'm listening to y'all and I'm just saying, wow, that's what they do today. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've watched and I've heard a lot of women say that they prefer to be with a man that's in their financial bracket. To a certain extent, I understand it. But for me, I would want to meet somebody where they are. We can grow together or we can grow apart. That's just me. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm old school. I don't know.
I'm curious. I'm curious. I've always been curious. People cannot answer this question. Maybe you ladies will be able to do this. Why are there? Why are black women the only culture that is expected to compromise? They either work. They either work and be by themselves, take care of their own bills, and do everything on their own, and be alone, or they have to settle for the man being able to pay the light bill. I'm gonna shut up and listen to this.
I
I'm gonna
have
be quiet.
I have a question, Jenna. How much have you traveled the world?
I have been nowhere but this country, but being around other cultures, I'm very cultured.
Okay, so I've traveled the world quite extensively, and it looks different. So we are not the only women who have to compromise. So a lot of cultures and other places, they have things given for them, depending on
Like
what.
where? Like where?
I'm about to explain about, and that's why I said it looks different. So a lot of cultures don't get to choose. The family chooses their husbands for them. They have to adhere to whatever that cultural standard is. They don't always love their husbands. They don't always like their husbands. But because that's their culture, they have to take what they get. Divorce is frowned upon. There are certain rights that we have in the US that they don't have elsewhere in other countries. The fact that a woman can speak out here, you won't be able to do that in other countries. So what I'm saying is, it looks different. It looks different. And there is this idea that black women, and we do have our issues, but they are very different here because of the freedoms that we have, because of the way society is here than in other places. So there's this idea that we're the only people, but those societies don't operate like ours do. Some of the Western countries, like maybe UK or, Australia or whatever the case may be. But for many, many, many of those other cultures, it is not the same. Women don't have the right to speak out and say things. The husband, whether he earns, they're supposed to be at home with the kids and everything like that. They have to take what he brings. If he does not bring anything, you go hungry. Your job is in the home with the children. Your ability to work is stifled or removed, or you don't have that option because of whatever that is that culture dictates. So there's this false idea out there that we are the only ones that have to suffer and settle, and it's not true.
Okay, let's talk about Americans. Can we take it? Can we keep it here in this country? Because on a whole, and there's statistics that back me up. On a whole, white women don't have to worry about this conversation. On a whole, they don't. I'm not going to say that everyone, that there's no white women that have to worry about this, but on a larger scale, and you guys can look this up, you can Google it while I'm saying it, they
I'm with the
take care
statistics.
of their families. They take care of their families. They take care of their wives. Their wives will work. In the industry that I work in, I have watched for the last 23 years. The white women will work in the hospital or wherever I'm working. They will get married. They will have children, and most of them I don't see again unless I see them on my social media. So I'm asking, okay, so maybe I can't speak for other cultures. Let's bring it down to the Americans, American white
It's even
man,
now.
people in America. Why are there so many black women who head households?
Well, there's several reasons for that statistically. whether it is the dismantling of the Black families, the incarceration rates, the drug rates, and all kinds of other things. Those statistics are also out there. If you go and look them up, you'll find those as well. A lot of the other cultures, women, they are taught to stay. Those husbands are out there cheating, but they rather have a home and a facade of all the things. But when you pull back the curtain, they're not happy. They're unfulfilled. They're not fulfilling their dreams. They're living through their children because they can pay for that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, there's a void there. I have these conversations often I have huge communities all over. I do a lot of work. And this is a prevalent feeling that is not often outwardly discussed. So I cannot say that we're the only ones, but probably we're the loudest about it. We are the most outspoken about it. And there is a lot of stuff that's out there that keeps us, what's the word I want to use? Separated or feeling like it's only us and things like that. And that's not the case. But if you pull back that curtain and you have those conversations, you get the know, like, and trust factor. You're in a safe space with some of these women that you're talking about that seem to have the perfect family. They don't have to work. It is still at a cost. It looks different.
I didn't say it
Wow.
was perfect. I will never say that it is perfect. But one thing about it is, I also know, and there are statistics that back this, that there African American women or Black women, however you identify, have the highest case of heart disease.
Yes.
And we can tie it back to how I tie it back to how hard we have to work. We are out of order a lot because if now I'm a Christian, I go by divine order, and if you look at it, Eve didn't go out and was toiling and harvesting and building. She didn't do that. She stayed at home. She had her children, and Adam took care. If we just go, if we take it there, we just go. But I don't know. So are we
There's
getting away
there's
from the divine order? Are we getting away for the divine order because of what and why? Because I mean, it depends on where you are. That's where I'm coming from, and that's what I want. That's what I would rather. Now I don't know. It's a couple of these ladies that I do know personally. They seem to be okay. I don't dabble in that, but there are also people that work 4 and 5 jobs, and their husband sitting at home playing a game.
So what is the question?
No question. It was me
Oh,
having conversation
okay.
about the fact that the original question, if you want that, was why are Black women the only people that are groomed to settle?
They're not. It looks different. That's the short answer. But when you talked about the heart disease and things like that, there's several factors. Several factors um, with the reasons why is very layered. There's no one, and it doesn't always tie back to that. It's different stresses that we have. There's different genetic stuff that we have. There's environment. There's so much. But anyway, at the end of the day, we're not.
Okay. Sweet Lady Bond, do you have a response? Because I have a couple of questions in here in the chat, and I kind of wanted to address them.
No, go ahead. You can address your questions.
Okay. So, Camille, Dr. Jono, John Nino says that that's true. John Nino also says that some people, let me get it correct because I don't want to misquote him. Some men didn't grow up having a fun childhood. They would want to exhibit. Understood. Everybody grows up differently. Not all African Americans, Black people, Negroes, grow up the same, male and female. We all don't grow up in the same. I'm trying to find what Prophet said. She said something to Prophet Abigail. I'm trying to get her comment of as well. It says, the upbringing gives them an advantage. Well, yes and no. I think, that's a hard one. Advantage and disadvantage. So the way I grew up, and I'm going to pick on me because I don't know other people's lives. I only know my life. I grew up with a 2-parent household. Both parents. A lot of the people that I lived in the projects with did not grow up with a 2-parent household. Your point. They were either divorced from their husbands, or their husband lived down south and they lived in Connecticut and they never got a divorce. That's how some people are. Male and female. Some of the parents passed away, blah, blah, blah. But I know that you feel, and it's okay for you to feel the way you feel. You're entitled to your feelings and your thoughts. For you feel like Black women always have to do everything themselves. Well, if you look at it, if you want to go back historically to the slave mentality, they always tried to break us up. And I hate to go there because I have white in my family too.
Me too.
My grandfather, he's either white and Indian or he's all white. I can't figure it out. He's got hair growing out his nose and his ears. That's all I can tell you. I love Pop-Up for who he is. Now, being even that's a whole nother story. With the slave mentality, we got to think about it like this. We're stronger when we're together. When we're apart, we're flailing. And we are flailing terribly. And it's not just crabs in the barrel because we are trying to get out. Of course, we all do want to. Most of us do want to do better. We want to be better. We want to elevate ourselves. We want to grow. We want to mature. Most of us. Some of us do it in our 20s. Some of us do it in our 50s. Everybody is different for the choices that they make. I have a god sister who lives in Connecticut, got her degree, went to college, had one child by one man, and decided, even though we're not together, I'm gonna have all my children by the same man. That was her choice. But did she take care of those children? Absolutely. And when he decided, or whether he decided or not, she didn't care. She just wanted the children. That was her choice. But if we're going back historically, the slave masters did not want the Black people together. They didn't want us to get married. And I'm not just saying blame it on the white man, because if you think about it, when you was on Section 8, or if you collected welfare, whatever you want to call it, DCFS, you couldn't tell that man lived in the house because they wasn't giving you no money. As long as you told them you wasn't there, they was giving you a full check and some food stamps, okay? And would help you get a job and get on your feet. That was their way of keeping us separate. Is that something that we've become accustomed to because of the slavery? Yes, it is. Do we want to do it? No. Most of us want our husbands or fiancés with our children. We want to be a family unit. We want to grow together. We want to mature. We want to do those things. But sometimes we don't have that advantage because there are people, society, the government, however you want to call it, they always try to make us part like the Red Sea so we cannot go forward.
Okay, so what happened after slavery?
Some
After
people
the last state,
So much.
after the last state knew that they were free, what happened? What happened to home ownership for Black people? What happened to marriages for Black people right after slavery? I'm going to be quiet.
So
I'm going to let y'all.
Jim Crow, for one. And there were still laws built in that kept us
But
separate.
Jim Crow was
Well,
1960.
even still, we didn't have rights.
Before.
Right? We didn't have rights still after slavery. And as soon as we went from slavery, we went into a system that didn't want us to be free anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So
the whole Civil War was not about freeing the
the
slaves.
statistics say that there were more, that the statistics say that there were more Black marriages then than there are now.
Absolutely.
Black home ownership was higher then than it is now.
So there's
Now
a
we have
whole history.
technology. Now we don't have anything holding us. So why, I'm asking you, why is that now?
I'm trying to answer.
Yeah, well, I was talking to you. Okay, ladies, I'm going to go.
Go ahead.
Okay. So
That was the
continue
question I was trying to
trying
answer,
to
but
answer. I'm
yeah,
like, why
and
she
then she
leave?
jumped back in, so I don't know what that happened, but there was um yeah, that's a whole. I think we know what
We
happened. Yeah,
know, but anyway, we
yeah,
gonna keep it moving.
yeah. So
So a lot of us, because of slavery mentality, because of all of those things, our mindset never changed.
never
And
change.
if your mindset never changed, this is the reason why you don't want to buy a house, because we figured it's too much of a responsibility. But if you do 10 years of mortgage times whatever it is, 1,500, 1,200, 900, 750, you could have had a house.
But that wasn't even it. There were laws put in place that kept us from getting home loans, that kept us, once they saw that we were building these communities, that we were becoming successful in our own right, that we didn't have to put our money outward, then they started stripping away everything.
Mhm.
Stripping away our ability to earn, our ability to they we could look at the Tulsa bombing, we could look at the Philly bombing, we could look at Rosewood, we could lose where they would destroy all of our communities that were booming. They would come in and wipe us out and take everything. And then we had to be dependent on. And then they created laws that said we couldn't have these loans, and that we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that, and that we were, redlined into certain areas. And they created these boroughs and ghettos. And there's like such a, and if that history is unknown, or if you don't go out, then it's hard to understand that, because you think it's just us, and even though we still carry that mentality, there were very many people, African Americans, who bucked the system that says, no, we are people, we want. And at every turn, this government tried to keep us, this society tried to keep us separated. There is so much, and it is so layered that this is not, I got to go in like 15 minutes. But until you understand the history of that, it's just not that we didn't try, we didn't want to,
Right.
that we didn't go out and get houses, and that we didn't go out and this is all like planned. This is all part of the plan to keep us separated, to keep us less than, to keep us not being able to be powerful together, because we are powerhouses when we're together. And so there's a systematic dismantling of our communities. And until you understand that, then none of that will make sense. It's not to say that people can't be successful. It's not to say that they don't have the means to go out and get houses, or that we're buying, but there's still not equal pay for equal work for any of us. You know what I'm saying? And so there's so many layers to this thing that there's no one simple answer. And I think that that's the problem. But the mentality of that slave, it still runs very deep. It still runs very deep. And there's a fear of stepping out, because the moment we see it in the media all the time, people step out and try to do something, stand up for their rights, and boom, they're out of here. And then nobody, because that was a whole thing, even with, whip them into submission. You take their mind, you ain't gotta imprison them anymore. You know what I mean? They'll imprison themselves. One of my favorite songs, a redemption song by Bob Marley. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And until we get past that, it'll always be. You know what I mean? And there's so much divisiveness in our own community with our mentality and our perspective, that it's hard to get on the same page, because everybody gets defensive about what it is, instead of saying, okay, let's sit down and look at this, with objective eyes. Let's go back and see, okay, here are the facts. It's not a Google, not to say anything about her, but it's not a Google statistic, because statistics are also skewed. You got to go back and look at the history. You got to see what's going on that creates these types of statistics. And then they don't sample everybody. They sample what they want you to know. So there's a lot of things that go along with that. But anyway, I love my people. That's one thing I do, is I love my people.
Of course.
I love my sisters. I love my brothers, and my thing is that we have to stop picking ourselves apart, tearing each other down with this, and understanding really what's going on underneath it all. And we all have value. Preference is one thing, but, there's just so much to it. Do you know?
Of course. I'm just really grateful that we can have these discussions, because even when they're hard, you're growing.
Yes,
and we have to, and sometimes we have to. I said this yesterday. I'm gonna say it today. I'm gonna say it tomorrow. I'm gonna say it next week. We have to be comfortable being uncomfortable in order to grow in
yeah.
any aspect of life. In I don't care whether it's a relationship or especially since you're talking about relationships, there's going to be a lot of things that he or she may do you might not like. Hey, beauty, and vice versa. So with that being said, thank you everybody who's came in the room.
Hey.
Chance to say hello. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. We're just talking about dating and how important it is for them to have finances. Is it more important for character? Is it more important the sex? I mean, everything can be worked at. What is really important to you in a relationship? Let's just do 5 things. What are the 5 things that are really important to you in a relationship? We're gonna start with Jackie. I know you have to go shortly. Come on, sweet lady Bond. What are 5 things that are important to you in a relationship?
Communication, trust, loyalty, love, respect. I can
Thank you.
go. I can go on. Like that's just what it is. Like okay, I'm done.
What about you, Miss Camille? Thank you.
First and foremost, a relationship with God. That's first for me. Uh, Vulnerability, honesty, communication, um, and the ability to stick with it when things are hard. Like, don't have that give up spirit. That's very, very important. The desire to continue to learn and grow. And so, yeah, learning and grow, and vision is a huge one for me too. I think that was more than 5, but I'll stop.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. And I did want to let you know. So I want to go on record. I did invite her back into the room. I did send her an invite, but whether she comes back in or not, I'm still gonna meet with her and talk to her again. I'm just keeping that above board. That's because that's who I am. But what's important to me, Christ. And I don't mean just a Sunday morning. Your Bible ain't got no dust on it. It ain't got no highlighter in it. You ain't studied. You ain't got no notebook. I need all of it. All of it. I need you to not only be on Sunday and Wednesday, but I need you to be praying during the week. But I also need you to have balance.
Yes.
I need you to have balance. So that's number one. Christ and have balance. Honesty, respect for me off the bat. I need those words of affirmation because I'm sure give them to you. Um, Finances is not big for me because I've seen God do a whole bunch with a little bit.
Yes.
So I don't limit that, especially if they have all the other things that are important to me. Because some people have a different thing in a relationship. So is anybody in this room desired to be married beside myself?
No,
Okay, because I know Sweet Lady Bond said no, it ain't happening. She
no.
been there,
I've
done
been
that, wore that T-shirt, and I
yeah.
understand. I
No,
understand. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Sweet Lady Bond?
I said I've been there and I've done that, and it's not for me anymore.
Okay, okay. And so we're all entitled to our feeling. But if God were to send you a husband, would you accept and receive him if he was everything that you didn't have in all the previous relationships? All 3 of them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, that's all I need to know. What about you, Camille?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I desire, like I said, been there, done that, but there's a lot of things that I know that having a strong partner, that things could, just go so much better, be more, my life would be not needing someone to complete me, but my life will be fulfilled. Like, so yes, I think for me, having a good mate is important to me. I'm not gonna rush it. Not gonna rush it. But yes, I would love to have a mate once again.
Okay.
But
I love the fact that we are honest and transparent because that's what this room is about, being honest, being respectful and transparent to one another at all times. Um, I and I say me, Dion. Yes, I desire a mate. I'm not willing to settle. And what I mean by that is it has nothing to do with finances. It has to do with the total person. The total person. Because I got somebody who's a friend I've been friends with for I don't know how many years. He asks me every year, we're gonna get married. No, you got a girlfriend. Leave me alone. Hi, Kalia Hade 6. Thank you so much. Hello to everybody came in the room. We were just talking about relationships in whole. We're definitely ready for marriage. Some of us, especially if we know it's God, all three of us. We're not willing to settle. We don't want anybody that's out of this country. So let me just preface that right now. I'm not interested in dating anybody out in this country. I'm not interested in getting on Telegram. I'm not interested in getting on none of WhatsApp. If you have a Google Voice number, I respect that. As long as you come up, because I got one too. And no, not everybody gets my personal number. So if you have my personal telephone number, you say, praise be unto God. She trusts me that much. Period. But I think, do you think, this is my last question and I'm going to let you go. So do you think men feel the way that we do as far as relationships? Do you think
like in what aspect? Like,
and the aspect that there's TT in the dating pool, women are not honest, or they don't have enough money, or they don't have a coke bottle. What do you think? Do you think men feel the same way we do at some aspects?
I just had these conversations literally last night, the night before, and a few other nights with some men about that, and absolutely yes.
Oh,
Absolutely, yes. They think that women only want the $500 dates. They only looking for men that have money, that they may be men of character, that the dating pool is just trash. And, everybody wants to be, yes, everybody wants to be an Instagram model, and they don't, I've heard the gamut of stuff. I wish I could have these guys on here that actually talk about this, but
we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that. And I didn't mean, I'm so excited that you said that, because that's something I want to do with a bunch of us. And I say that because the dates are for me is when you made my sandwich, you packed some pickles, some black olives, you got lightly salted potato chips, we got a little bit of fruit, don't have to have watermelon, give me some bottled water, and you got your old transistor radio, and we going on a picnic, and the picnic might be in the living room. I'm all for it with some jazz.
Definitely,
Rainy day,
definitely.
sunshiny day. And what see you laughing because that's probably you. But I'm so open to that. You don't have to bring me flowers every week, but bring me some flowers, and don't wait till Valentine's Day, because I don't want them then.
All right. That's when I don't want them.
I don't want Valentine's Day flowers. You want to do something for me? Take me somewhere. Let's make it a memorable Valentine's Day. Maybe we'll be in New York for the weekend Valentine's Day and just have, and just go skiing upstate, or go to Vermont and make syrup and see what, make those dates memorable. Because, you spend $300 on roses. I'm thinking $300.
They're gonna die in 2 weeks.
Give them $300.
They're gonna be gone in 2 weeks.
Less than that.
Look, I'm like, no.
So I'm more about, I think the type of women we are, it says, if you love a man, hold on. Me and my husband's first date was in the park in the picnic, playing with kids playing. That's great. Now see, that's a date. Thank you, mama. Not that I didn't want you up here earlier, but you're already married, so you can't say too much about the dating pool. If you love a man and you want to make sure that they love you too, I get it. Love is a two-way street. If you want it to receive it, you have to give it. And that means that love is, I won't say unconditional. Hey, King J, thank you so much for coming in, King J Farrell. That looks like my cousin. I can't even tell. I had to see his face. Picture too tiny. But I didn't mean to invite you. Sorry, bro. I just feel like we need to get together among us and really hash this thing out, because maybe we can answer some questions for them. They can answer some questions for us, and that we can kind of get a better understanding of women. Because some of us women do some real retarded stuff, some real silly stuff. Excuse me. Some real silly stuff. Real silly stuff. She said on our second date was him bringing his toolbox over for the kids to take apart a microwave and a VCR. Hey, that's what it's those little things that are important to us. And I think for real, I know that's right, Day. I know that's right. It is about the little things. And I think sometimes we let society get us all caught up in the big stuff. Let me tell you, when I was engaged to my D boy before we even had a child, our dates was I would come from Stamford, Connecticut, come into New Haven, me and my cousin flying 95 plus. Just thank God I'm still here because we should have got arrested and had tickets. We was hitting that freeway. You understand what I'm saying? Like some mad people driving sticks, acting a plum fool, okay? Plum fool. Thank you so much for coming in. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for coming in. And she's laughing, plum fools. And so I got home, and the first thing he said was, let's go get your car washed. He said, let's take your car to the car wash. I done paid Eric to go get your hair done because you got BDBs in the back. I said, shut up. Let's go take your car wash. Here's some jewelry. Bought you some flowers. Simple. Simple. And then there were other times, there were dates was like, what we doing tonight? I don't know, but I'm not working, so we need to be leaving here by 6 o'clock. Where we going? New York. What am I going to do? Drive around and eat pizza? Go to the beach until it's January where it's doggone 7 below? Those are the things you don't forget. Because you could get the diamond earrings, you can get the ring, you can get the house, you can get the dog, you can get the white picket fence, you can get all the flowers in the world. But if you don't have any memories to go with it, if we can't make this relationship memorable, it's really not. Even going to church together. His church is different than yours, then y'all get to decide. Being prayed for together.
Be miserable.
Exactly.
We see people all the time. They're divorcing. They're, at every level, seeming like they have everything, but there's no relationship. There's no connection. There's no, like you said, making memories. There's no, I can't teach you anything. You don't want to listen. You don't want to hear. You don't want to, all these things communicate. And so you can be in a very financially stable relationship.
Oh, I got a violation for hate speech, but I don't know how that is. But okay, I'll look at it.
Be empty, So I think, like you were saying at this point, there are so many more things that are important to me, and everybody, is their own. Some people, they just know what they want. If that's what is important to you, then that's what is important to you. But for me, it is living rather than having a life.
Very important.
Yeah. The stuff doesn't move me. I've been at the, and then the stuff doesn't move me. It's what we do. It's the connection. It's the memories. It's the experiences, what we learn together and how we grow together. That's really, really important to me in this day and age.
And I think there's a lot of men that are like that too.
Oh, I have to go. My thing is in 1 minute, so I have to log off.
Love you. Talk to you later. Thank you so much for stopping in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your presence today.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
You too, Camelia. Have a good day, beautiful.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Did you get your stuff? Okay. So, Sweet Lady Bond, can you talk?
Yeah, I'm just trying to do a few things, but I hear you. I'm sitting right here in front of my phone.
I appreciate it. So, I think today, and I'm just going to do a recap about all the questions that we had today about dating. Can you date somebody with no money? Can you date somebody who has everything and no, I won't say common sense, character. I don't know what the word is to use for it, but just the same. I just feel like, dating, sometimes we make it harder than what it has to be. And y'all laugh at me if you want to. I'm the girl that wants to get a note every now and then. Okay, sticker removed. Thank you, because I don't know what the heck that was. I just know that I still like pick up the phone and call me. I just wanted to hear you breathe. What you doing? I know I just left you 20 minutes ago and I'll be away from you for about 8 more hours, but I miss you already. That's okay for me.
Yeah.
Or in the middle of the day, send me a goofy picture. It's okay, because I'm big on communication and being honest. And I think that's where we've gotten away from society, because we can text you. I don't do well with the text messages. And I say that because you didn't pick up the phone and call me. So it really doesn't mean much to me.
Right.
Consistent. All he do is text me all the time. He don't pick up his phone. And then when he do pick it up, I don't want to talk. because all you do is text me, so I got nothing to say. But just the same, I want to say thank you to everybody that came in the room today. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. You could have been having your Sunday somewhere else. We're just trying to keep a little convo going and make our little Sundays to go a little bit different. Nobody's opinion is right. Nobody's opinion is wrong. Everybody's entitled to their own. I just want everybody to know that you are loved and we love you. We appreciate you. Keep coming in the room. Keep finding the besties that are in here. If you got a bestie in here, or if you haven't had one, keep, get a bestie. Keep going. Just keep going. Keep going. So with that being said, thank you so much. I'm going to end the live. I will see you. Yes, I know you love me. I love you too. We're going to go live again, probably in about 2 weeks, and we're going to try it again. And we're going to keep doing this until we get this right. In the meantime, thank you so much. Have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.